about the domestic law making in China. We made one law after great difficulty, or a couple of laws in the last 5-6 years. Lot of controversy over it. भारतीय न्याय संहिता भी आया है तो बहुत हल्ला हो रहा है. Not a single month passes in China without they coming up with a new law. And this new law, although it's domestic, is going to affect everybody who is dealing with them, or everybody who is actually going anywhere near them. So they are working with a definite roadmap. It's a rising economic power. Our IMF projections say that by 2028, China and USA will be almost equal, with about 28 or 28.5 trillion dollar economy, the size of the economy, and by which time India would also probably cross $5 trillion and become the third largest economy. But we still have a gap of more than 20 trillion. So the elephant in the room, China's rise, is also a very important reality today. And when I talk about China, it's not just about economy. Today, in technology area, in many areas it has overtaken America. Several areas, I wouldn't say many areas, several areas. But definitely it is catching up with Russia, with China in many other areas. And it follows a different trajectory. For example, US has dozens of spy satellites. Their only job is to spy over nations. What you are doing in this hall, they will be taking pictures and sending to their people, their government. What China did was, it did not create its own spy satellites. What it simply did was created ground-based lasers to jam those satellites. So a totally different approach. This approach they take from a very interesting book. Some of you who are interested must read that book. It's a book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu, who was supposed to be a contemporary of Chanakya, of Kautilya, Arthashastra's Kautilya. So today, they are technologically advancing. Now, I was talking to one very senior Navy officer in our country. Today, in the Indian Ocean, these submarines of China are omnipresent. You never know where you bump into them. So, how to stop them? How can you stop? You don't know, because no technology can actually find out where they are, except some sonar technologies that are very, very rudimentary technologies are available. So he suggested that we are asking our scientists or engineers to create a laser wall in Indian Ocean. No, that is the kind of challenge we face. You have to build a laser wall. No, it's another matter if you build a laser wall, what will happen to the marine life, how it will impact the other aspects of our, other marine activity. It's a different, but the kind of challenge that we are facing. And lastly, we are today, both America and China see outer space as the next frontier of war. Who will move citizens to the moon first is the competition going on between USA and China. China wants to send its citizens to the moon by 2030. Most probably it will achieve it. USA is trying to do that at least 1 year before, in 2029. That is where they are competing. We are struggling to decide about our drone rules. How high our drones should fly, we are unable to decide. The drone law has not been finalized for the simple reason that if it is at 4,000 meters high, what will happen? If it is 12,000, we are unable to decide. So that is the kind of technology gap we face. So friends, elephant in the room is China. Its rise is another challenge for us. We have to be careful about it. The third is a new Cold War is imminent. We may call it or we may not call it a Cold War. There will be a new Cold War with countries like China, Russia, and their own sphere of influence on one side, and the Western powers on the other side. We already see the flashpoints growing. You already saw Ukraine happening for last 2 years. I told you how US influence will diminish. Ukraine is an example. For 2 years, nobody knows how to end that war. They are asking now Modi ji should come and end it war. But you started it. Why should we end it? The NATO and the Russians started it, but they don't know how to end it. So then Gaza happened, Israel. Now there is another flashpoint, that we know of is Taiwan. There are problems in South China Sea. China came up with the 10-dash lane now. This 10-dash lane has created problems to both India and Russia also, but also many maritime powers. So we are heading into a Cold War-like situation. It will throw up many challenges.